Oh, we're on. Yay. Microphone. It has been a week full of Mondays, gang. It really has. A week full of Mondays, one after the other after the other. So, first of all, this show was kind of planned to happen last Friday, but a bunch of things happened, and we were all getting ready for the gig at Shorewood Celtic. So I did not, in fact, do the show there. That's okay. I did do a show at Shorewood Celtic, and that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I had 3 really good shows. I had good shows all the way across the board. And I had good crowds. They put a lot more benches at the Villagers Square stage, and I honestly believe that the more benches you put at a spot, the more likely people are to sit down and actually, become curious as to what's happening in that spot. And that certainly did prove to be the case. I had more people showing up, and I had a lot more fun. So that was cool. That was fun. Hi, Kimberly. I see you have followed me. Maybe you fled. I don't know. I can't tell who's on and who's not because I'm looking at the Streamlabs thing over here, and it just tells me roughly how many people are watching, but it doesn't always tell me. Decent hats. Yeah. Definitely paid for all the expenses involved in going out there. And the best part was that I had to go stomping up and down the sandy slope. It's in the Piney Woods, and a lot of the ground in Piney Woods is sand-based up there. And my knees didn't hate me at the end of it, and that was awesome. I'm very happy about that. So, yeah. Welcome to a slightly delayed Tobias the Adequate Troubadork show. Yes, the topic is we're going to touch on Mr. Jimmy Buffett, because Jimmy Buffett was one of the musical cornerstones upon which my sensibility has been built. And there's actually a couple of funny things about that, which we'll get into in a moment. For one thing, I was going to play Honeydew, which is one of my favorite Jimmy Buffett songs. And I had not transcribed that song to my Evernote notebook, which is where I usually transcribe stuff, because that way it's there whenever I need it, and I can get to it on my phone and get to the tablets, whatever. I had not done that, but I had bookmarked the song and the right chords. And that bookmark is gone now. And anywhere else that I look up Honeydew, they use an awful lot of "Hi, I am clearly a jazz musician" chords, which is really awkward for me because I am not a jazz musician. I am a bash away at it and pray kind of guy. Very much the DIY mode that Jimmy Buffett operated in a lot of his compositions. So I had to change which one it was. But yeah, I've listened to Buffett almost all my life. When my dad became a boat person, we would drive to where the lake was, whatever the lake was in Texas or Tennessee. That was where the boat was, and we would listen to Jimmy Buffett all the way up, and we'd often listen to Jimmy Buffett all the way back. And it had a bearing on some things. So the first song we're going to do is not Honeydew, although I still remember, they never try to keep the wild ones home. But mister, don't just sit there. See, that's the wrong. Sit there and wait. Go out. Let's go out. See, that's where it breaks down horribly. But I'll figure it out. We'll get there. So instead, what I'm going to do is my other really pretty Jimmy Buffett song that I know. And that is, he said, hopefully. Nope, the button doesn't work. This one does. One of my faves, Stars Fell on Alabama, which I honestly believe does support my theory, my thesis, that Mr. Buffett composed a great deal of his stuff on the ukulele, because there are some chords that are just really easy to play on the ukulele that are not easy to play on a regular guitar. And the transitions are so much easier on the uke. Moonlight and magnolia, starlight in your hair, all the world a dream come true. So jazzy. Did it really happen? Was I really there? Was I really there with you? Swing time. We lived a little drama. We kissed on a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. A, D minor, G. I can't forget the glamour. Your eyes held the tender light, and stars fell on Alabama last night. F, the C, G to the bridge I never planned. In my imagination, a situation so heavenly, a fairyland where no one else could enter. G sharp. Wow. There it is. And in the center, just you and me. Dear, my heart beat like a hammer. My arms are wrapped around you tight. And stars fell on Alabama last night. A, the D, the G, and I have no solo here. Da 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 da. Hey, da. That was it. We lived a little drama. We kissed in a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. Can we survive the bridge again? I can't forget the glamour. Your eyes held the tender light, and stars fell on Alabama last night. Here we go with the bridge again. Brace for it. I never planned in my imagination a situation so heavenly, a fairyland that no one else could enter. Simplify. And in the center, just you and me. Dear, my heart beat like a hammer. My arms wrapped around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. That is just such a pretty song, and I rarely am able to do it justice. And listen to Dr. Demento on the way to the water. Yeah. My dad, not a big Dr. Demento guy for some reason. Me, big Dr. Demento guy. It's okay. So, yes. And so, really, now do the buttons work? No, the buttons do not work. We'll continue to use the clicky thing. I have a Stream Deck over here. Clearly, it needs to be rebooted. But that's all right, because it is honestly not a Tobias Adequate Troubadork show without at least one weird technical foo-for-all. So the shows were good. The shows were entertaining. I met a lot of new folks. I had some repeat offenders coming to see the show. I had one couple that actually told me that I am one of the two reasons they come out to the Sherwood Celtic Festival. It's me and the Blaggards. And I think that's an incredible compliment to me, or a real insult to the Blaggards. I'm not sure which is which. But anywho, the next official gig is, of course, Steampunk November, which is the weekend of November 13th. And if I look at my calendar, that tells me I have to unlock it with my face. My face unlocks my calendar. At least I do not have to put my face on my calendar. That'll be the 11th and 12th of November. This year, there are no shows planned for the 10th, the Friday. So it's just going to be a Saturday and Sunday festival instead of a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday festival. And it should be a lot of fun. We're going to go out there. I'm going to be performing again. Captain Lowball is getting on the stage for the mere compensation of 2 tickets to get in and 2 tickets to afternoon tea. Because afternoon tea at Steampunk November is a heck of a lot of fun. T-Punk Tees is the sponsor of that. And if you look up T-Punk Tees on the interwebs, you will find you can actually order tea to be delivered to you. I heartily recommend the Winter Smoke and the Cossack's Kiss. These are both smoked teas. That is to say, teas which, as they are drying, are dried over wood smoke fire. And I honestly believe, because I have drunk coffee in the past, that these teas taste like what coffee wants to taste like. We just sweeten them a little bit, and they are fantastic. I feel so grown up when I drink them. Then I go back to drinking my Diet Coke. Anyway, so Celtic Festival, I had a lot of fun. And those of you who have been watching any of my feeds, I unleashed a recording of the next song I'm going to do. I'm still going to do the song because I feel I had 2 tickets to get in, 2 tickets to get back out. Well, I have to play music in order that they will let me out. But honestly, if they didn't let me out, they would have to answer to Amy. And Rob, you I don't know why people are intimidated by Amy, but they are. It's because she's a marvelous human being and indomitable. That's a good word for her. The next song I'm going to do is a song that I riffed on, a traditional Celtic song, Whiskey in the Jar, and I was just screwing around with it. And this is partially inspired by the good folks of the Poxy Boggart, specifically the world-famous Poxy Boggart, specifically Bob, Professor Hieronymus Mudd, the master of the 12 mysteries of Thanatophrony. What is Thanatophrony, you ask? That's the first mystery. And he would just kind of hang out at the end doing the bass lines and occasional heckling. And this inspired me to come up with this nonsense. There we go. As I was walking on Kilkenny Mountain, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. First he drew me pistol and then produced me rapier, saying, "Give me all your gold, 'cause I'm a big golden retriever." With a boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. It was many years ago when I first heard the song performed, but somewhere in my memory the lyrics got distorted. It takes a half an hour, but it never seems to bore us, 'cause no one's listening to the words, we're waiting on the chorus. With a boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. Traditional Irish gibberish. I can't read my writing. With a boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. I never thought I'd give the time to give the song its glory, 'cause it takes a half a week to tell a proper Irish story. True. You'd think we'd all be over it, and yet the laddies bring it. Gotta be drunk to write a song like this, and drunker still to sing it. With a boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. Everybody, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. Whoo, little audio caffeine. There's a very rapid downbeat on that, and it's just like, ah. What do you mean that's not how it goes? Well, it kind of goes that way, I think. Sorta, maybe. It's hard to tell. Well, I do tell you this. Hey, Teppo, I do tell you this. When I performed this song at Sherwood Celtic, by the second chorus, people were singing I Don't Know All the Words to Whiskey in the Jar with me. And I felt that was really entertaining and also incredibly liberating for so many of us, because there are so many songs that you just don't know the bloody words to, but everybody else seems to, and everyone's like, just tries desperately to bash away at it. All right, we're going to move on. I started a little late because I had to continue to do my day job, so I'm just going to get this thing out the way here. So we're going to go to the next song, which will be tomorrow, the vaudeville tune. I updated it a little. I I started on a journey about a year ago to a little town called Morrow in the county of Sligo. I'd never been much of a traveler and I really didn't know that Morrow was the hardest place I'd ever try to go. So I went down to the station for my ticket and applied for tips regarding Morrow, not expecting to be guide. Says I, my friend, I'd like to go tomorrow and return no later than tomorrow, for I haven't time to burn. Says he to me, now let me see if I have heard you right. You'd like to go tomorrow and return tomorrow night. You should have gone tomorrow yesterday and back today, for the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. If you had gone tomorrow yesterday, now don't you see, you could have gone tomorrow and returned today at 3 for the train today tomorrow if the schedule is right. Today it goes tomorrow and returns tomorrow night. Says I, my friend, it seems to me you're talking through your hat. There is a town named Morrow on the line, now tell me that. There is, says he, but take from me a quiet little tip. For to go from here tomorrow is a 14-hour trip. The train today tomorrow left today at 8:05. At 10:30 tomorrow is the time it will arrive. So if from here tomorrow is a 14-hour jump, can you go today tomorrow and get back today, you chump? Says I, I'd like to go tomorrow, but can I go today and get tomorrow by tonight if there is no delay? Well, says he to me, and I got nothing more to say. Can't get anywhere tomorrow and get back again today. Says I guess you know it all, but kindly let me say, how can I get tomorrow if I leave this town today? Says he, you cannot go tomorrow anymore today. The train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. I was so disappointed, I was mad enough to swear. The train had gone tomorrow and had left me standing there. That man was right in telling me I was a howling jay. I can go no more tomorrow, so I guess in town I'll stay. I do enjoy that song a lot. That song was, of course, introduced to me by my friend. Hey, good morning! Yes. yes. It's the small ones you gotta be careful of. But it's good when they're on your side. I am, it's gonna be, the show feels like I'm rushing it, but it really isn't. I'm not rushing it. It's just, I do kind of want to get stuff done. Because we are going to have dinner tonight, and I'm not sure what we're going to have for dinner. We're going to figure that out. We have often sent out for dinner and had them bring it to us, but tonight I may be robust enough to actually make dinner because I'm still feeling pretty good, having played music and having had these 2 little bursts of audio, adrenaline, and caffeine. I always feel great about singing and performing, especially when there's people over here chatting back at me, because that means that I'm not alone. Because without you here, this would be Vox Clamata in Deserto, man shouting into the desert. Or Vox Clamatis in Desert Card of man shouting into a sheet cake. And on that note, I would now like to sing a song that pretty much sums up my entire attitude about the week other than the shows. Pick up the pace. And now, happy children, we will sing the happy little tune, yeah? A song about gambling, drunkenness, and defenestration, yeah? The song which makes me sing is this accent that just makes me want to punch myself right into the face. I was gambling in Helsinki, down upon mine luck. Oh, a lot to these big Flemish guys, I felt that I was stuck. I thought I was gonna show, surrounded by mine foes. Then I remembered Hasselhoff, and he solved all mine woes. For he invented the Hasselhoff maneuver, as depicted in this very useful document, which is entitled just grabs him by the crotch, once and throws him out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs him by the crotch, once and throws him out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. I have to tell you that having people walk by as I sing this, they get the strangest looks on their faces. Well, I made my way out of there and I fled down to the bar. I happily sipped lager, maybe 2 or 15 jars. The massive Swedish mercenary spoke ill of my ma. I did not think I could escape this peril quite unscarred. Once then I remember I had the informative booklet by Oscar Hasselhoff, German Master of Defense, in my back pocket. I asked the massive Swedish monolith to wait under me noten, read it very carefully, and I knew exactly what I had to do. So I grabbed him by the crotch, and I threw him out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs him by the crotch, and then throws him out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. I had gathered quite a crowd by the great feat I did perform. I ordered me another round, for I had grown quite warm. When time to pay the bill came, please for credit fair or scorned. And so I tried to stand my ground, mine fate was quite forewarned. For it came to pass at this very tavern in Helsinki, a temporarily between violent conflicts, Oscar Hasselhoff, German Master of Defense, had been hired as a part-time bouncer. Well, I was thrilled. Guten Abend, Master Hasselhoff, Sie geht's. Would you sign mine an informative booklet? We had to find a crayon. Once then we had to put a rounded point on the crayon. He is not allowed with sharp things. And he signed his name very, very carefully. Then he grabbed me by the crotch, and he threw me out the window. Well, that was darn effective, I thought, as I was passing through. He grabbed me by the crotch, and he threw me out the window. Yes, it seems defenestration works on me as well as you. And now, happy children, would you sing the happy sing-along song with me, yeah? You do not need to know all of the words. Just the good ones. Just grabs him by the crotch, and then throws him out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs him by the crotch, and then throws him out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. Grabs him by the crotch and throws him out the window. Available wherever violent books are sold. Yes. I think we should start our children young. Teach your children about defenestration early. It saves a lot of time. It really does. Oh, I feel so much better. Well, I feel so much better not currently working at my day job. I feel so much better singing and performing with y'all, talking back and forth. My folks way off on the other side of the bloody globe. A bright and bleary good morning or good evening to you and yours. And thank you for supporting adequacy in our lifetime. All good things must come to an end. And while this may not qualify, it is about time for me to wrap this bad boy up. So thank you all for hanging out with me. Without you here, this would be rehearsal. I'm not above playing with absolutely nobody watching, but it does feel a little weird. That's why I love playing live. Few usual things. Carpe Diem Comics is the official emotional support comic shop of the Tobias the Adequate Show, Troubadork, and pretty much everything else we do in historic downtown McKinney, Texas. By the way, Pancake is really that big of a dog, and he is really that much of a dog. Let me think here. I want to thank, of course, my Patreon patrons, and they are, deep breath, do this in one breath, Tim K, Jen Joe, Austin, Chris, Teppo, Isaac, Jasper, Linda, Ann, Rob, Steve, BK, Richard, Brian, and my long-suffering editor of Artisanal Gibberish, Laureen. Thank you all very much. You can support Adequacy at patreon.com/theadequate, tip jars, paypal.me/theadequate, Venmo @theadequate, Cash App $theadequate. My branding is bewilderingly strong. I gotta take Sherwood off the gig list now because we've done that. Yes, indeed. For your protection, we've been sanitized. We also social distance. This is social distancing hard mode. I think that's pretty much everything for this time around. Go check all my social media. I have a link to the surprisingly decent, quote, studio recording of, I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. I will try and record more of those things. We will see how they go. Steampunk November in November, Kerrville Renaissance Festival January, February, other things coming and going as they happen. I'll try to keep you posted. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Be kind. Be safe. Be silly. Fight hate with noisemakers. They don't like that. Particularly things like Rommel pots and vuvuzelas and gongs. They really don't know how to deal with have people making silly noises at them, which is really what I do. So make silly noises in the defense of others because, trans rights are human rights. Human rights are human rights. Treat people like people and not things. That's the really big thing. Thank you, Sir Terry Pratchett. I think that's enough out of me for one day. If you came in late, they'll be replaying this everywhere. All the streaming services keep for at least a week, and of course it goes onto the Troubadork playlist on YouTube. Yeah, that's about it. You folks have all been wonderful. I have been Tobias the Adequate, and I thank you once again